And, this is Washington. This is a free country. People are allowed to do that, express both their delight and their grievances to Democratic congressman from the beautiful state of Missouri, Emanuel Cleaver. Congressman, very good to have you.
Good to be with you.
I know this is a Senate issue, Congressman, but many of your Democratic colleagues, virtually all of them at this point, are not very keen on any of these choices the president has whittled this down to. What about you?
You're kidding. You're kidding. I mean, well, actually, I've paid more attention to the names that have surfaced over the past few days. But look, the president is very likely going to get whomever he chooses. The vote is close in the Senate, but if Republicans stay together, and I really don't see a way in which the president's selection will not be chosen. Now, having said that, Neil, I think we made a terrible mistake, and it won't be felt by us but by our children. And that is this continuous tit for tat, because it has no terminus, is going to do us in. And I think what Senator McConnell did in terms of holding back on a hearing is going to be practiced by some Democrats sometime down in the future in a similar situation.
You're talking about when President Obama's last choice, Merrick Garland, and that he was not afforded a simple up or down vote or hearing prior. So the seeds were planted. Now, of course, Harry Reid could be blamed as well for the whole, filibuster thing. And then now we're down to a simple majority deciding these things. But you're quite right. The die has been cast. I'm just wondering, going forward in future years, some of your colleagues, Congressman, have talked about delay, delay, delay. Do anything you can to just delay the heck out of this. How do you feel about that?
Well, I'm not sure. I think the Senate has arcane rules in the first place. In fact, I think the founders made a mistake when they created the Senate. And if I could cancel it out tonight, I would. And I think most Republican and Democratic House members would eliminate it. But having said that and not realizing that's going to happen, I do think that there's just not any way in which I can see us stopping this. Now, delays will probably at least give some feel-good moments to members of the Senate and to the Democratic Party. But, I think in the end, the president will have his way on this Supreme Court justice.
Do you think Democrats, not all, sir, but a good many, risk some call it Trump derangement syndrome, or their anger, or, the hostilities they have to this president, almost anything he does, that it actually gets in the way of them making the electoral advances they probably could if they would just calm the heck down? What do you think? Well,
I have said behind closed doors to my colleagues, and there are hundreds who would confirm it, that going out and simply being anti-Trump will not win. I think we've got to be for something and not against somebody. And so I think that Donald Trump, to be straight and clear, is easy to be against. I mean, he has said some things, frankly, along the racial lines that offended me. And so I have to push myself not to get caught up into waking up in the morning thinking negatively about Donald Trump, but thinking positively about this nation and what we have to do in order to, close the divide that has occurred, not just over the Trump period, but for the last few years. I think we've been moving further and further apart. And but I think that just Trump is evil, evil, evil is not going to win the House back. We've got to have, I think, a program and a plan on what we're going to do and lay it out clearly and articulately to the American public. That's what will win.
I think you're right about that. That could apply to both sides. What I always have enjoyed about you, Congressman, maybe it's the minister in you and a training, you're a calm human being, or at least you're faking it very well with me when I have you on. But I admire that. I think that's a great quality.
Well, I think I come from a family where we have two very well-known Black Panthers. One is dead and one is in exile. And so I think they played a role in American history. I do think, however, that, we need to have people ought to protest. This is a democratic society and protest. But I also think that we make progress when we're able to sit down at a table and whatever the people did 25 years ago in the House, I've been told they get cigars and whiskey and sit around and solve a lot of the problems. I don't do cigars or the whiskey, but if that's what it takes, I'll withstand the smoke.
You'll look hard.
I'll look away.
In my family, we extended it to Italian cold cuts, but that's a whole nother thing. Congressman, it's always good having you. I appreciate you taking the time.
Sure, good to be with you.